Hi there, my name is Gary Wales. I'm from Woodland Hills, California, and what you see here are two of my cars, my creations. And with an associate of mine, Andres Aranda, I do the design of the bodies and all of that, and Andres makes them run. Thank God for that. And what these started life off as is this was a 1919 American LaFrance fire truck back in the late 50s. When they went out of service, they were bought up by ranches here in California. This one came out of Irvine. It had been sitting in a field for 50 years. We got it running. It was sans body and everything else, so it gave us a great platform. And what we like to do is to show people what cars were like 100 years ago. And this is our salute to the great racing cars on the roller cage. We call them LaBestioni, and which means the beast. And as you can look at it, you can see it's a beast. And it's just a great deal of fun. People, the design, besides the design and the object of it, when you walk up and if you smile, I won. That's exactly what we wanted to do, is to make people smile. Again, we're saving heritage, and when you lose your heritage, you lose everything. So here we go. This one is 20 feet long. It's 14 liters, 900 cubic inches approximately. It's a 6-cylinder. Each piston is the size of a 2-pound coffee can. That's very low revving, 1400 RPM. But torque, it'll climb right up over the Coliseum. It's absolutely wonderful. Big and noisy, wonderful to drive. I just love it. You know, I compare the technology of 100 years ago to now, and people say, oh, it's totally different. It's not. And if you notice the little thing, look at the springs. These are questions that are always asked. And the springs are wrapped with sash cord. The reason for that is back 100 years ago when they used to race the boards, actually in Beverly Hills on Wilshire Boulevard, there was a board track 100 years ago, and they raced. And if a spring broke and that piece of that spring went out behind you, it'd kill the person behind you if you was unlucky. Or if you were really unlucky, you'd go around a track and it'd get you. So you wrap them with that. You take your old crankcase oil, pour it on top of the rope. The good oil goes in, keeps it lubricated, the dirt stays to the outside. It's a nice application. What else can you do with springs? So that's one of the things that we do. Take a look at this one now. This car is called Rusty 1, and the reason for that, this is controlled rust and finish. Look at the beauty in this, and if you look at it close, you can see the copper and the silver and the gold and all of these flecks in that. That is God's natural rust. This is Philippine mahogany on top here. This is Honduras mahogany. The difference in the colors is because of the density of the wood. Take a look at the dashboard. Tell me we don't have fun doing those. I can get anything from anywhere in the world and we put it on if it looks good and it's contemporary to the car. It's just an absolute gas. The hood is particularly interesting. If you look at that, this is almost 98-year-old rust on here. And that was Sausalito Fire Department. You can see it just rusted right down. And it was so beautiful, I had to do something with it to save it. So that's what we did to it. We finished it, and so it's finished rust. It's just an absolute wonderful thing. Now, I'll show you the heart of this beast. Check out this engine. Is that beautiful? 14 liters, just thumps along. Now, it'll do 100 miles an hour. I geared them to do 100 miles an hour. I've had it at about 80, which is, believe me, more than enough. But it's a wonderful thing to drive. And because when you're driving, you can hardly ever get out of your lane because there's always someone on your left side taking pictures of it with their camera or whatever, and as soon as they go away, they zip by you and look, and there's the next guy in line doing it. And so it's really tough to drive them on the freeway, because that's what happens. People love to see crazy, wild things on the road. This is about as crazy and as wild as you're going to see. It's on steroids. So there's what we do.